Couldn't I look like Mike Myers in Shrek? Is that more manageable?
It's more realistic.
More realistic.
I think I'm already looking like that.
Hello, welcome to Movie Beans. I am Tim.
I'm Darren.
And today we're going to be reacting, a bit different than usual. And it's going to be the top 10 unforgettable movie scenes of all time.
It seems like I have already forgotten some of these scenes already.
Well, that's all right, because we're going to watch it, and hopefully that will remind you.
Let's go.
All right, let's go. Beans? Beings.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
So that was the first Matrix.
Yeah, I mean, that movie still have a very special place in my heart. And when I first watched it, that particular scene on the rooftop and the bullet time, it was mind-blowing. As soon as I watched that scene, I tried to recreate it, but then, of course, I fell flat on the floor.
I think everyone did. I think the only person that probably came close was Michael Jackson with the, what was the, like...
But it was leaning forward. So.
Yeah, it was leaning, well, you know, fallen with style.
What do you think about the first Matrix?
I really like it. It's still probably one of my favorite movies, but that scene in particular is kind of amazing because I think that was the first time they did like multiple camera shots.
Yes.
Trying to capture every side.
In this particular rig, there are 120 cameras and 2 motion picture cameras set up.
And that's all in CG as well, which is like, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Because obviously after the whole slow motion thing as well, that started it essentially. So everything you hate in action movies when they slow down, it's blame it on the Matrix.
But you can't blame that scene though.
You can, but just because I can't do it as well. But, you know, it's just like...
There are a lot of things going on in that, you know, like Neo was trying to avoid bullets. And I think it was the first time that something out of the ordinary happened. You know, he was fighting the agents. Of course, they were jumping through buildings. But then this time, he did something impossible. He avoided the bullets.
Because that's the one thing that's just like, he hadn't done anything too crazy yet, but that was the first time. It's like, oh, he did it. I could probably do it as well.
Before this scene, the agent dodged the bullets.
Yeah,
first.
Exactly. That's right. He tried to do it. He's like, I can dodge bullets, right?
Yeah, guys, please. We cannot dodge bullets. Please don't try this at home.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
I think we can pause here for a moment. What is your thought on Pulp Fiction?
It's a great movie. I think it's probably my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, I would say. That and like the Kill Bill movies are probably my favorite ones, but it's pretty like, this is like almost the first scene in the movie.
Yes.
And it's just like so intense. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yes. And I really like Jules' character as well, because right before this scene, Jules and Vincent had a very normal conversation in the elevator. They were talking about giving foot massage. Like, it's a very normal conversation between two dudes.
What were they talking about? Where's the limit of touching someone else's woman? And they're like, a foot massage. It's like, come on now, we know what Jules like. We know what that leads to, but it's like, what do you mean? I'm just massaging the feet and nothing more like involved.
And I really like the interaction in this scene because Jules, basically, he's playing a hitman. So he's a hitman in this scene. And besides the fact that he has a very scary presence, his wit is really quick as well, and it throws people off. For example, he knew that Brad was trying to talk his way out, and then he shot one of his accomplices, right? So that scares him, and now he's like uncoordinated. He doesn't understand what's going on. It's just easier for him to establish the power and dominance. And even with this intensity in the scene, the conversation flows really naturally. Like, this is how you would interrogate someone.
At least we would think of it.
We would think of it, yeah.
I haven't interrogated someone, so...
But this is one of Quentin Tarantino's strong points, like the conversations, the dialogues. It's just very natural. And I just love the fact that Vincent is just standing at the back,
he's
smoking a cigarette, just chilling
like,
out.
This is pretty normal, right? Surprised he hasn't shot more of them yet.
What do you think about the actor who plays the victim here? Brad?
He's doing a great job of being scared.
I mean, I would be scared if I had to sit in front of Samuel Jackson.
He probably didn't have to act too much. I think Samuel did a pretty good job of trying to scare the shit out of him.
And I think after this, he's going to quote the Bible.
Yeah, that's what he... Yeah,
Can we continue?
To.
And then Vincent is just standing behind.
And he's like, I'll load some bullets into him as well. Great.
So for that particular scene, I think if I remember correctly, they were trying to collect something back from Brad, and this leads to one of the if you can call it an Easter egg in Pulp Fiction, the suitcase.
Yeah.
Because we don't really know what's in the suitcase.
Yeah, through the whole movie. That's kind of like, it's like a cool little herring of like, oh, what's actually in it? Because it's like, it's so important, but you never get to realize what it is, which is cool. But it's like, it's a cool fact in a really brilliant movie. That's not like, it's not like the main point. It's not like what's in the case, but it's just like an interesting thing. It's like, wow, he went to such lengths to keep it safe.
What do you think was in the case?
I don't know. I feel like it'd be something not as good as you'd want it to be.
Yeah. The first time I watched it, when Vincent opened the suitcase, like there was a bright light coming out. So I thought it was just like gold.
I thought it was meant to be more for like a metaphor. It's just like, whoa, like what's in here?
Yeah.
I can imagine it's just like a pair of jeans or something. And it's just like...
some fans speculate that it might be Marcellus Wallace's soul. Because he did a deal with the devil. Because when he opened the suitcase, the combination was 666.
666. Maybe.
It was a pretty cool theory. And Quentin never confirmed anything. He was just like, yeah, I wanted the audience to tell me their theories. It might be better than whatever I have in mind anyway.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, if you keep it, up in the air, it can be anything, right?
Yeah.
It can be anything you want it to be.
I think that scene is unforgettable. It's because it's really established a lot of different things, like very natural dialogues, very good intensity within the scene, and I think you have a really weird combination. Like you want to see what's happening next, but then you feel the intense feeling inside as well. Like I think you kind of know what's going to happen next.
Yeah. Then, you know what he's leading to.
Yeah.
Because even, I think later in the movies, he says, I'll just say that shit to sound cool. Yeah. Like, it's not like a meaningful thing as he sounds. He's just like, well, this would be cool to do before I shoot somebody.
Yeah. Awesome.
Vincent. We happy? Yeah, we happy.
Can we move on to the next one? Okay. The Shining.
Another crazy movie, but that scene in particular, like, I've heard a lot of things about on set. His wife, apparently, I don't know who the actress's name is, but apparently she was treated pretty terribly. Yeah. Apparently they were really trying to scare the shit out of her for this scene, like really, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But you can hear that, like, the horror in her voice.
Yeah. I mean, Stanley Kubrick was the director of this movie, and I read about that as well. I think he's very obsessive in terms of his scenes and his directing style. And I think that's one of the things that kind of takes me away from this movie, because I think that this is a very amazing movie, great acting and everything. But when you hear about another human being being mistreated, it's very hard for you to enjoy the artwork, right?
Because I think there's been a few directors that have been like that, have been like, what lengths would you go to try to create a scene? And like, is that too far? And I think that's a bit like, I don't know, like abusing people to try to get a better like scene out of them is probably a bit much, I would say.
Yeah. And Stanley Kubrick, he's well known for getting his actors to act a scene over and over and over again. But I think for this particular movie, the actress got treated really badly. And also he wanted to capture the true horror from her expression. That's why... Yeah, but I mean, for this particular scene, like Jack Nicholson did a great job in expressing that he's a man who lost his mind.
Here's Johnny.
And of course, it's always cooler to enter a room using an axe instead of knocking.
Yeah, instead of knocking, it's like, hey, I'm just having a manic meltdown and going insane. Would you mind letting me in? An axe always gets to.
And of course, there's the meme part.
Yeah, no, that's why it's so. It's like meant to be a scary moment, but it's just like, here's Johnny. It's like, just seems so funny, but obviously it's meant to be a lot more horrific.
And I think after this, there were a few more adaptations of Stephen King's novel. I think The Shining is like one of the most successful.
I think
ones.
It still stands out as probably the best one. I'm trying to think of the other ones. I haven't probably watched as many, but maybe another thing to look into.
Yeah. Oh, great scene. I'm sure you're a big fan of the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah. Amazing movies as well, but that scene's like, because it's the first character that like dies in the movie. And he's the one that like starts it all as well. He's the one that begins the journey for them to like to destroy the ring.
Yeah.
and this is like maybe the biggest obstacle they've faced so far, like coming to this, and that he's like sacrificed his life for them to continue on. It's like a huge moment for them. And as you can see, they're struggling to run away because they're like, oh shit, don't want to leave him behind.
And please forgive my ignorance, but who was the CGI monster that
the Balrog?
Yeah. Who is Balrog?
I don't know the lore behind him. I'm sure he's just some big fire demon. But yeah, that's like they're in the caves and their goblins attacking them, they're chasing, and then the goblins run away and they're like, why are they running away? And the Balrog shows up. It's like, I see why they ran away.
So this is the boss fight.
Well, almost. Well, it wasn't really much of a boss fight, was it?
Wow. Well, but I think the acting in this scene was really good. Like, please forgive me, but because I haven't seen any of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But I think the acting in this scene now that I heard your explanation, I can see the dilemma that they were in. Because if they care about themselves, then they needed to run away because that was the best chance they got. But then they care about this Gandalf character so much that they couldn't run away. And I really like the last part as well when he said, run you fools.
Yeah, fly you fools.
Oh, fly you fools. Sorry.
Yeah, I always used to think, I'm like, why did he say that? But it's just phrasing, right? It's like, why would you say fly? They can't fly. They're going to fly away.
Was there a particular reason why he said fly instead of run?
It's just like, get the hell out of here. But it's just like a cool way of saying it, I guess. He's a wizard. He is an old wizard. So, well, don't get too much in the lore, but yeah.
Ian McKellen is amazing as always.
I can't remember. I do remember recently there was like a little short. I think someone was blaming he can't play something because he isn't that or something. And the guy's like, I wasn't really a wizard. And I'm like, well, that's the point of acting is you act to be something. Anyway, I just thought it was funny because it's like, he isn't a wizard?
Really? He looks like one.
Yeah, I was like, he could have
He is a Magneto?
Yeah, what? And the wizard, too. The metal wizard.
Next scene. Let's do it. Okay, Star Wars.
Good old Star Wars. That's the most, I guess that's like the iconic scene from that because that's like the biggest build-up is like the big villain is the father of like the hero of the story.
Yeah, that was a big twist. Who played Luke Skywalker again? I kind of forgot his name.
No. Like now that you said it, I'm going to forget his name.
He voices the Joker as well.
Yeah, he's...
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, yes.
Yeah, Mark Hamill. So I watched one of the interviews with him, and he was one of the few people that was told this secret prior to the filming. And George Lucas brought him aside and said, okay, this is a secret. So even though they got the script, but the ending in the script is not the true ending. Yeah. Because George Lucas was trying to capture the real emotion, so he told him on the side. Yeah. But the thing is, the filming of the final scene is not going to happen. It's not going to happen for the next 4 months. So he had to keep that secret for 4 months, especially when he mentioned that Carrie Fisher is a bit of a talkative person.
Would have got it out. There you go. They did a good job, but still a very iconic scene.
Yeah. I think they did pretty well in terms of the lightsaber physics. So you can pretty much cut through everything.
Exactly. It does feel like a bit of weight, and I do like in those early movies, they do feel like a fearsome thing to face.
Yeah, because you can literally cut through a bunch of metal
or a hand.
I mean, if you can cut through metals, a hand is nothing.
As you do, you cut off your son's hands. Like, hey, by the way, I'm your dad. What? You cut off my hand, and you tell me this now? It's a bit rough.
But I think they missed a part in that. I think he was saying like, look, I am your father. Search within yourself.
Yeah, there's a bit more to it.
Okay. But
they've cut that part out. Because that's what I was thinking. There was a weird cut when he's like, ah!
But maybe the acting was a bit too long for that. What do you think about the reaction that Luke has?
It's pretty good. You lost your hand and now you know the evil guy's your father.
I'm pretty sure he was just screaming because of the hand.
Yeah, probably. Is that what you say about that before I missed it? I was in too much pain?
Yeah, exactly. I'm in shock. Cool. Thank you.
Let's move on.
Oh, no. The Zack Snyder movie.
No, I know.
Okay, just pause here. Why the hell is there a giant hole
in the ground?
In the ground, right behind this.
They got to put your rubbish somewhere, right?
But the thing is, like, they were walking to the hole.
I can't remember if they explain it in the movie or not. I haven't watched this in a long time, but it does seem a bit odd. Like, hey, let's stand next to this giant hole to have this conversation.
Yeah, but I think it was meant to be like a cool transition. So they were just having a normal conversation, and then he ushered them into the hole. But then I was like, the transition was really bad. Yeah.
And it was a weird, like his whole dramatic, like really taking it in. It felt a bit weird. I don't know why. Because it's just like, why is he taking it in for so long?
Yeah, but to be fair, I kind of enjoyed this movie more than his other movies. Especially this part, I kind of understand where he's coming from. The guy who played the messenger did a pretty good job.
He's a good actor. I've seen him in a lot of other stuff. I don't think he's been in many big movies, but a lot of TV shows and stuff.
Yeah.
I think he does. It's funny. He does. I'm pretty sure he's in another show called Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus.
Yeah.
So I always found that was funny. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, cool. And I think Jared Butler did a really good job in this one as well. A bit of a side note: have you seen the parody?
Probably have, but
Meet the
not in a long
Spartans?
time. Yeah.
Meet the Spartans.
High fives for the women and open mouth tongue kisses for the men.
That scene was funny as well. Like with this whole, they was just throwing off like weird people that they threw Britney Spears in there as well.
Oh, now I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the movie? What was the movie called again?
Meet the Spartans.
Oh, that's right. I was always like, because they always name those spin-off weird movies something crazy.
And some of the guys that he painted the abs on his belly as well.
Well, they probably did. But paint, goes a long way.
Yes, can we please continue? Just a side note there. So for that scene, I think Zack Snyder told Jared Butler to say the line, "This is Sparta," in a very nonchalant and very stoic way. But after training in the gym for like hours prior to the shoot, I think Jared Butler has a lot of intensity within him. So he was like, I think this scene, this line would be better if I scream it out. What do you think?
I think so. When you're going to kick someone down a hole, this is Sparta.
Probably doesn't have the same weight, right? What do you think about this movie in general?
I think it's fine. Like, I haven't watched it in a very long time, but I do think it's one of his better movies. But I think this is like the launching point for him, because I think this is like what creates his career. But I think I've already mentioned how I feel about his other movies, so I won't go into it.
Like they did a sequel to this as well.
Oh, did I even watch that? I don't know.
No,
if I ever did.
but I don't think that was a good sequel. Eva Green was in that. But I watched the movie and I was like, it lacks the magic that helps the first one succeed. So, yeah, but it's the same issue with all the sequels, right?
Yeah. True.
Okay, next one, please. Okay, have you seen Taken?
I have not.
The first part was pretty good.
I was going to say, that was pretty well acted. He did do a pretty good job there. I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
And the leading up to
intense.
that scene was really good as well, because he's a retired agent, and then his daughter went on holiday to Paris with her friends, and both of them got captured, and she was on the phone call with him. So he was in America, and his daughter was in Paris. So like the helplessness of the situation really helped intensify that scene. But when I watched that scene and Liam Neeson did that scene, I was like, oof. This is cool.
Yeah, he is a great actor. I'm a bit sad because I've never watched them, but I hear how they go, the rest of the Takens. So
Yeah, Taken number 2, Taken number 3 didn't do well, but the first one, that particular scene, became so viral. So many people reacted it, and he used that meme. It turned into a meme as well.
Because I can't remember if I saw it in a skit. I feel like I've seen that in a skit
So
somewhere.
many skits.
And it's just like a guy, and he's like, "What are you talking? I've got a certain particular set of skills.
Particular sets of skills. That
Mate, I
one.
just want you to pay this pizza."
And when he was on Jimmy Fallon, I think he recorded that voicemail for someone as well.
Oh, right.
And he did that again on Saturday Night Live. So it was just a skit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It is
Yeah.
like, it's a very cool scene, but I can see how like you can use it in so many different ways to be like, it's kind of a bit far, mate.
But yeah, but I think it was one of the first movies that Liam Neeson tried to be in an action role as well.
I think so.
Prior to that, he was doing a lot of the dramatic roles, but for this one, he was full on action. And after this, of course, he became another household name for action stars. He did like Man with No Name, a bunch of Taken. And it just like became another FBI agent, really. But I think he's kind of sick of it now.
I hope so.
I will find you. And I will kill you.
Next one, please. Amazing. Amazing scene. I love that movie.
It always gives me chills, that scene. It's like so well done. Like, it's crazy that like it's funny to think of like comic book characters. That's why
crazy.
That's why that movie's always going to be like on top of like those comic book movies, making them like legit movies. Because scene like that, like that's, you know, think of like or how Batman used to be in like early days.
That's just sad to watch as well. Yeah,
and then it's just like the emotion in that. And even with Christian Bale doing his like weird voice,
I swear to God. Swear to me.
Like you can see he does a good job
Yeah.
of even just showing the anger and the
the frustration.
the
as well.
frustration with him.
Man, Heath
And then
Ledger, what a waste.
Yeah, I know. And even with Heath Ledger, how amazing he was like in that role. Because I think he even asked Christian Bale to hit him for real in those scenes. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like he really dove into that role, and you can see it. So
And during that scene, I think it was the first time ever they were at one place together, Batman and Joker.
yeah, I think
prior
it was
to
their
that, they
first
were just
scene.
like
together.
And then the dialogues, the interaction is just amazing. When I watched that scene for the first time, I just like, even though Batman is beating up Joker is the one who is in control.
That's like that's like
Like,
the
he has
point
all
as
the
well.
cards. He has all the
like
cards.
he said at the end of there, you can't threaten me. Like you got
Yeah.
nothing, even with all your strength, it isn't going to solve it, right?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And even just thinking of like Christopher Nolan, how far he's come. Like it's crazy. Like coming from like, you know, it's weird. I still can't believe he got Batman like as a movie, which is kind of crazy to think about. Because like where he's done and what he's done with movies now,
Yeah.
we kind of got lucky. I feel like.
Yeah, like The Dark Knight, I think definitely the best movie out of the trilogy that Christopher Nolan did.
I think it's still easily like one of the best comic book movies ever made.
I mean, Joker has always been a very compelling character, especially when you put him against Batman. But I think out of all the actors who have tried to portray Joker, Heath Ledger really got to the core of the character. Because I think Joker has a lot of different origin stories.
Yeah,
but
well,
I think
because
this
isn't
one,
like part of it like half of it's like fake sometimes. He kind of just
yeah,
says kind of like, especially in The Dark Knight, he does it a lot as well. He has like, how do I get these scars? And he
Yeah.
tells like a different story every time.
Yeah.
Because whether or not they're real or not, that's not really what he's about. It doesn't matter what made him. He is now what he is.
And I think this is one of the things that a lot of movie makers should really study on how to make a strong villain, because the hero is only as strong as the villain that they go against. And the thing is, like, the more you watch this movie, the more you kind of sympathize and understand the Joker's motivation to go to this length. He's not doing all the crazy stuff just because he's crazy. He's trying to prove a point. And that point is also relatable as well. Like, anyone can be as bad as him as long as they get one bad day. And I think that is brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, but I still can't get over the voice that Christian Bale chose.
Yeah, I know.
It really
It
takes
is.
away from the scene, though.
Where is he?
It's like, are you having a cold, bro?
Yeah, it's like, did you, like, right? You need a little lozenge?
No wonder the Joker is laughing all the time.
It's pretty funny. This man is in a suit just going, where are they? Give them to me.
I just feel bad that we don't get to see Heath Ledger in Joker
Or even in another movie,
in another movie.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Yeah.
which is sad.
Yeah.
But
Next one, please. No,
Oh,
that was
very
a quick
simple.
scene. Yeah, that scene was quick. I think, but it's very quotable. Yeah, like
I don't know how. It's so simple, but it just works. Especially for that movie as well. Like, that's like another crazy and interesting movie. Just of like,
Yeah.
it deals with so many different interesting things. And even the fact, like, spoilers a bit, but that's like the same guy is like talking to himself
Yeah.
and seeing himself in the other side of the room as
Yeah.
he's like giving this conversation. It's
Yeah.
like, but very good. Very good.
that particular movie gave a lot of the new and upcoming actors after this movie false, I guess, perception about their own body. I have watched some of the interviews about some of the new actors now. When they go to the trainers, and the trainers would ask them the question like, okay, what do you want to do? Most of them would say, can you make me look like Brad Pitt in Fight Club? Especially in the shirtless scene where he's got like extremely ripped and a chiseled body. Then can you make me look like that? He was like, no, you have different body types.
Couldn't I look like Mike Myers in Shrek? Is that more manageable?
It's more realistic.
More realistic.
I think I'm already looking like that.
Okay.
But I wish that scene was a bit longer, though. I think that he was
I feel like
explaining.
there's a lot of other good like scenes from that movie as well. Like,
But I
I
think he
can
was
see
explaining
that
the
one. That's
rules.
probably the most iconic.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be I would choose as my favorite, but it is like definitely, like you say, most quotable thing. What you do, don't talk about it.
But what is your favorite scene in that movie?
Honestly, that end when like all comes together, and he's in the like the house, or not the house, in the big like
The office building. Or
office building, and they're like looking out, and like everything's like blowing up and shit. And I'm like, God damn.
It's beautiful and sad and tragic and epic.
Yeah, because everything like clicks, and you figure out everything, and it's like, God damn, this is some real up shit.
I would say that one of my favorite scenes in Fight Club is the scene where he fought himself inside his boss's office.
Yeah, that's sick.
That
as
was
well.
smart. That was very intelligent. Ed Norton, like who
He's
would
a
have
great
thought?
actor.
Yeah.
He's a very good actor, and he's usually a guy that picks his roles as well. That's why I was surprised when he did the Hulk. I think that's a bit later than that, but does Hulk too. But yeah, I still like he does a bit obscure films sometimes, but he's generally a pretty good actor.
I'm not sure like how involved he was with the creative process, but I heard that during Hulk he was really involved and he wanted to
He wanted
change
to be
scripts and
he
things
wanted
like
to
that.
be.
Yeah.
Because I think he wanted a bit more control. Because I think he probably wanted to see. I still don't remember Hulk 2 that well. I'm sure it wasn't as bad as the first one with Eric Bana, but it would have been interesting to see him how he would have gone in like how Marvel is now instead of having well, I've forgotten his name. I can see him.
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. I do like Mark Ruffalo,
Yeah.
but it would have been interesting to see Edward Norton
Yeah.
like walking along like Robert Downey Jr. and stuff.
But I think Edward Norton would be more suitable for a movie with him as the anchor. But I think for the Marvel's universe, there are too many characters.
And it definitely doesn't seem his thing either.
Yeah.
Like, it's not his kind of movie to be like a comic book guy. Which is fair.
I can't imagine him and Robert Downey Jr. fighting for the screen
Honestly,
time.
that'd be pretty funny. It sounds like a great movie.
Yeah. Next one, please. Yeah, that's pretty much how I sit every day.
Oh, it's the Batman and Joker again. Look at this.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him a Joker, though.
I guess Batman broke his final rule.
I think this is before he became Batman.
No, I think this is the story. It was about not getting that reservation, and now he's gonna take it out on everybody else.
Yeah. Let's just pause here for a moment. American Psycho, what a movie.
It's crazy. It's funny that like they fought to get this movie gone. Like it really struggled to get off, and I think they had the film done, but they couldn't get it out. And I'm glad they did, because I think this is probably what launched his... Like, he had already acted, Christian Bale, at this point, like, as a child actor, but this really, like, I think solidified him someone that could be, like, a main man in a movie.
Yeah.
And especially this movie is insane.
Yeah. Up until now, I think this is a very rewatchable movie as well.
Oh, definitely.
Because every time you watch it, like even now, I still don't fully understand the idea and the philosophy after this movie.
It's got a... It's a lot to go into, because the whole... Obviously, at the end of the movie, the whole thing is he never did any of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But that's, like, the idea of, like, he was dreaming of all of this, like, stuff, but could never really do it. It's like, it's about these men in these offices all, like, abiding by their rules and joking with each other, and he's trying to get out. He's trying to, find something, and this is his release. He's like... He murders people.
Yeah.
Because there's like a scene where he runs through the city chasing a woman. I can't remember to like kill them.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's so crazy at the end when he's like talking to the dude and he's like trying to admit to all this stuff he's done. And then they're like, I think someone he killed like walks past or is like in the room and is like, oh, what the hell's going on here? Like, it's like a weird realization of like, was it real or was it fake? It is kind of like, I think it is, I can't remember if they like define what actually happened, but it is kind of that idea of like, you know, look at the lengths he kind of went to, or it's like how insane he is. It's like, it's an interesting, it is probably definitely a movie we should watch and like go over a bit more, but
up until now, like when I watch it, like I think I watched it twice, and after the second time, I think the characters in these, it's got a combination of like intriguing and also very mundane.
That's the idea, because it's like they're mundane office guys. Like, I'm surprised I chose this scene. My favorite scene is when they're talking about the cards.
Yes.
Look at the card. Look at the styling.
Yeah. So
Like-
and it seems like they are caring about very artificial stuff.
Yeah,
like
like
it's only on the surface.
When he kills Jared Leto here, he's just like, you got the reservations at the restaurant. I wanted to get because he's more prestigious. It's like about the prestige.
Dorsia, that's the name of the restaurant.
Yeah. And he's trying to show off, like when he's putting on the music, he's like trying to like show off like how much he knows about the band, and like this, he's like, oh, this is the final point. It's just like, showing off. This is like what all they do. It's like, oh, look at how prestigious I am because I know what all this means. When it's just like a front.
Yeah.
Where it's all kind of a bit of a front.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like his other side. He's like, well, I'm just gonna get next.
And I think in this movie, Patrick, Christian Bale's character, he has always hated Jared Leto's character, right? Paul Allen. And I think and I agree with you, the business card is one of my favorite scenes because those things are so pointless.
Yeah,
But they put so much weight in it, right?
Yeah, that's what's great because it's such a pointless thing. Someone's giving you a card and he's just like
Comparing.
really like dying on the inside of like how good it is, how clean it is, all the styling and stuff. It's like, mate,
Brad, a nitwit like you gets so tasteful.
just a goddamn card. But it's great. It does it captures so many of those little things that are just like
Love that
feels
scene.
meaningless, but to him it's like such a big deal.
Yeah.
That he would eventually try to kill him. But no.
And up until now, there's still a running gag. Like, have you got the reservation to Dorsia?
Yeah, exactly. He was always like, oh.
Cool.
And there we go.
That's it. Well,
Good one to end on.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we end on a murder scene, but
Yeah, well, that's all right. Like I said, Batman finally got his revenge on the Joker. It all comes around. The story. It's a great movie. Came back around.
I think he got the wrong Joker, though, Tim. This is not the right Joker to me.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And in the next episode, I think we will react to more stuff. And let us know if you like this video. Share it with your friends. Leave a comment, and I will see you guys. We will see you guys next time. I'm Darren,
and I'm Tim.
See you then.
I got an 830 res at Dorsia. Great.